Hi, today is October the 9th, 2020, and after finally getting some decent sleep after several days of not getting that rest, and to tell you the truth, I hope my last reading was good because promptly afterward, I finally conked out. I literally uploaded that, saw it got uploaded, and all the things that are needed so that you can view it, and just slept through dinner. I missed, my husband made a nice dinner. I missed that. I'm upset about that. But I also, God, fall asleep for several hours, and the news cycle is crazy. So Pence, people want me to look at Pence. And I also want to address something about trolling that's going on my channel. I think we have people coming in trying to, and not only on my channel, but I think on others, trying to say that Democrats aren't doing enough, blah, blah, blah. And while I can understand that it's not fast enough for the most of us, for what we like, things are going to fall the way they're going to fall, and you're just going to have to ride the ride. There's people that are saying, oh no, and I've heard Linda G say this too, that people come on her site and do this. Well, I think we got something similar going on here. And so if you see comments where, despite the progress we are making progress, Trump is doing exactly what Linda G and I and many other readers have been seeing. And that is that he is spiraling out of control. It looks like a good possibility of some sort of secure hospitalization for a while. That's quite possible. He needs it. I keep getting that vibe. I've told you guys that, of like some kind of federal protected hospital kind of like situation. And then maybe later, but I think there's just still some things at play. I don't think it's all locked down completely yet. But I do see what is locked down is that he will be paying for it. So don't come on my channel and say, trying to steal away everybody's hope and what we're seeing, which is progress that's beginning to tide being turned on Trump. Yes, he's gotten away with a hell of a lot. Well, that's ending, okay? So if you want to try and make his people more miserable and dissuade them that this is going to work, go somewhere else, because I'll remove your stupid remarks from my channel. That is not what is happening here. Now, if there was some bit of truth, I consider that, yes, it's a little slower, but someone's running around and trying to stoke people's fears. Just pay attention, just watch. That's all I can tell you. Wait and see what happens. Without further ado, blah, 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 I'm going to go into Pence. I'm going to check his health. Yeah, it looked like he had something funky with his eye. I noticed that too, like pink eye. That may or may not mean anything. Definitely the man needs to wash his hands and not rub his eyes, at least. And with all the sickness around him. So, with our concerns, because we have a president that's acting like a lunatic, jumped up on steroids and Adderall, with a pandemic going on, who's actually tested positive, and who I don't know is through the window of entirely walking away from his experience with COVID without complications. I actually believe that he could end up having health problems from it. One thing I've always seen, and many other readers, is that he will have some kind of a health crisis. And it will result in an impacting influence on his being able to, his stamina, basically. So, you know, and we all kind of see him kind of withering away. So, you know, folks, things are happening. And if you can't see that, I can't help you. Okay. Getting help, or getting help with regard to a wife, mother, how appropriate. There might be some news coming through that'll be breaking, maybe about his wife, something about Pence's wife. That's what the cards are showing me. There's right, the first line is a wife. I'm getting a message of the wife, the mother, and a message of seeking assistance or help. Now, is this because she's sick or he's sick? I'm not sure yet. But there will be news coming here in this place. Something to do with Mike Pence's wife. And they are seeking assistance or help, needing help. And in this case, I'm feeling like it's probably medical, because when I've gotten this card here recently, it's been about COVID. And it's been about needing to go to the hospital or needing to get extra supportive health help. Is she a fire sign? I know he's a Gemini, and that would make sense because air and fire usually are together. And I get another guy, so I get, these could be other people, 3 other people, woman of a fire sign, a male water sign, and earth sign that are hopeful. They are high-profile people is what I'm being messaged here from the tarot. A woman of a fiery nature, water sign. I wonder if that's Mitch McConnell. Ooh, please tell me it is. And a king of pentacles, nurse sign. And the card I also get with them is the star. So I feel like the message is that these are, I'm being told that these are 3 very high profile people connected to Pence. And I think connected to the growing, sickening bunch, literally, who are coming up with COVID. So I feel like I'm being shown some health issues coming in, or at least around Mike Pence. I think he's there to try and look like he is successful and to gaslight. Again, I'm getting news of a female, but there's some word of success. I don't know if that's necessarily true, because they're doing a lot of gaslighting. Okay? Not that the cards aren't telling me the truth. I'm not saying that. I'm saying the cards show me that this is what's going on, and they're not saying that that's what's happening with them, but that is what's going on. We have in the background a woman that is asking or needing help, a wife, regarding Mike Pence. We have people surrounding Mike Pence that are going to be seeking help or are at this time, and we will be hearing about it in the next maybe several hours. I get 3 people, 2 males and a female. High profile, also probably seeking some kind of medical assistance or support that I think test out positive. That's my guess, okay? And it looks, it looks hellish. I get the wife, and I get the King of Pentacles and the Ten of Wands. And this feels like it is a very oppressive, awful feeling for these 2. They are going to be put through the mill. I think it has to do more with, and I don't know why I'm getting this. Something about the wives, and the wife here needing help. What can I tell you? I got to go with that. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to pull a few cards of clarification here. I'm not really getting so much that it's Pence, but something about his wife, or his wife comes into the news, and there's needing assistance or going and getting help, like medical, I feel. And then I get a message in the center line here of 3 people, a woman and 2 men, who are very high profile. And I feel like this is to do with illness, the recent illnesses, that outbreak of the people with COVID in the GOP cabinetry and also in the White House. Old-time staffers that have been there for a while. But I'm reading on Pence, and these are the people around him that I feel like are turning up, needing help medically. I think that theme is going to continue. There's a woman here who looks like, this is Melania, I think, because it's an earth sign. I think she might finally start turning the corner and doing well, and then we might finally start to see her. But for somebody else, there is a very long time of I feel like, being sick. It's a long cycle. He's really stressed out and trying to work really hard. But things are not good, despite his low-key attitude, his quiet calmness. His calmness belies the fact that it's absolutely insane behind the curtain. Look at that. And it has been for some time, and it's only becoming more oppressive and out of control. There's something about his wife. I don't know, we'll have to see how that plays out or doesn't. I could be wrong, but I see something about his wife. I feel like there is maybe like a ramping up of not feeling well and needing going and getting some supportive assistant help for health. I see 3 other people that are very high profile to Pence, who are probably going to come up positive, and that looks like over the next several hours, if it hasn't already come out, because it's the present, into the near future. And then I see a message of a woman that is successful, I think, in her combat of COVID, which I think is Melania, with the Queen of Pentacles. That's what I can give you. It's what's coming through for Pence in the message of looking at his health. I'm getting more of a message about the wives. His wife and I think Melania. And then 3 other people here. I'll have to double check and see if Mother is a fire sign. It would make sense since Mike is an air sign. But that is what I see. And I see a period of just just bearing some very heavy burden. And with this fire card, it could be I get it with the COVID, the fever, the illness, and the aches, and the infection with the virus. Could it be him and Mother? What is his rising? Is it like Taurus, or does he have what is his moon? To look at that. I gotta write all this stuff down. See, these are people I honestly don't really care about, and I really don't like having to make time for, but it's entirely necessary. So it's entirely draining too. But what I get here, I think that any kind of illness, as far as Mike Pence is concerned, I see him and his wife coming through, and I think Melania will come through. should they get ill, I do think they'll be okay. But I do see somebody getting sick here and enduring an illness that's very uncomfortable. I see Melania showing up, turning the corner on her illness. I see 3 other people testing positive, and I think going through the long process of recovery, and the long process of not feeling well, but recovering, and glad of it. I think also there's treatments that help them, that bring relief. I really don't know about Pence himself. I'm not getting a sense of him getting it. And if he does, I think he'll come through it, is what I get. As far as his health question goes. And there is something up with the wife, with mother. So let's take a look at him. I want to also need to do a reading on the 45th Amendment. So I'll throw it in here. Let's do that one next. Okay, it's going to take me a moment to switch gears, switch people. Let's clear this deck. I want to look at the 45th Amendment. Will it come through? Will that be the hook that takes him off the stage? Because I think we're getting close to it. I think this, because I saw something of kind of like there's an offer in the past that is made to Trump toward the end. And that is that, look, it's kind of like you're making an ass out of yourself. This is just getting worse. You can step away now and things will be better, or you can proceed and we'll take you to town. It's kind of that feeling. That's what I've always got. And I could be off. I don't know. I'm a human being, but that's kind of the gist of what I've always gotten. So I'm wondering if Nancy bringing the 45th, or threatening to, and I think she's every bit actually serious about it because he's out of his friggin' head, high as a kite, giraffe's neck. So let's look at the 45th. And I think that what I always kind of thought with the 45th was that would be an offer to kind of save your space, step away now. No, you can do it under the need of medical treatment and save some face here because you are making a jackass out of yourself. And what I saw was that he persists. So then they have to go to something else. And he's gone. So I don't know if the 45th will be leverage to kind of that they're going to use, and that they'll call his bluff and use it or not. Let's see. Will the 45th Amendment be called to pull Trump out of office because he's just crazy, acting crazy, too crazy? So let's see about the success of the 45th Amendment and Nancy Pelosi's securing of it. Will the 45th Amendment, I ask my ancestors and the spirit of the tarot and the creator to help me see clearly and relate honestly what I'm being shown. Okay, well, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So this is fate, this is karma, and we get the 3 of Swords. It's talking about separation. It's talking about a painful end or a painful state of mind and mental health. So that actually adds up. He has a very screwed up state of mind. So apparently I would say that this is perhaps the route that they will take. Yeah. And he's going to fight it. The Emperor is trying to stay in place. But it would have according to this reading, I would say initially, because this is a major arcana card that speaks of change that is huge, that is monumental and historical and karmic coming into play. And it would be historical. And it does deal with a embattled frame of mind with the Three of Swords and traitor, being a traitor and a liar, a deceitful person. He's going to fight it. No surprise there. But the second line says there's some kind of confinement, because he's just going off at the rails with silliness, with stuff that doesn't make sense, like a child babbling. This shows, when I read, the first thing that jumped out to me here is 3, and I'm thinking of his 3 children, but it could also be Nancy Pelosi, the Democratic Party, and others in the Senate, I don't know, that are going to be leading this effort to have him hospitalized. I think she's busy securing it. She's not saying this as a bluff, and without being willing to go through with it. Let me put it that way. I think there is trying to appeal to him, but there are people that are in cahoots with him that are, I think, enabling him. This could be also agreement. Let's just see. Because she has to proceed here. Oh boy. Well, that's interesting. I think that he might very well come under the 45th Amendment being processed to remove him. I think he'll thumb his nose at it, and that's going to be a big mistake, because she does intend to carry it out. And this is where now you're going to be bound. Now there is binding. Is this them censoring him right now? Yes, you bet. I think they probably are trying to keep him from bouncing off the walls, but it might get out of hand. I see there's more people being brought in about this process, more people coming in with this process that she wants to secure right now. I see her securing it. That Lovers, the 6 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, and the World makes me feel like she might very well secure that 45th Amendment. Comes to an end successfully. And publicly. There is agreement. And there's a sense of victory, like, yes, this is the future line. Yes, I do think she will bring it. I think that she is serious, let me put it that way, about bringing it if he does not get his act together. He's never had his act together, so we know that's not going to happen. He's just going to continue. So I see it as, I'm getting a card of fate, that this may be a fated thing, that he's meant to go out this way. When we speak of the 45th Amendment, when we look at it, he will fight it, but I see him being confined. And I see people coming on board despite him and his people fighting it. There might maybe be enough that it goes through somehow. And what happens? Ooh, boy, boom, it is a new day. There is transparency, there's light that's put on something, and there's a new phase of energy that's active. And I think the 45th Amendment could well go through. A hold. And that makes me feel like the rule of law will hold. I sure hope I'm right. Something, he's definitely going to be held, I think, at some point for observation. And there's the sun with that. I think he will be held for observation. Mitch McConnell, I feel like, is right here with the cups. He might speak or come forward with activity. I'm sure he'll have something to say if she does proceed, but there is a sense of loss for him with a partnership. The Two of Cups, loss of a partner. Or Putin's going to lose a partner. Seriously. Okay. They're worried, I think, about trying to get him about getting him to grounded, so to speak. Getting him back to planet Earth. I'm not kidding, because there's instability. There can be instability with the Two of Pentacles. And sometimes it can mean I can feel very grounded, but when I get a card next to it that is a negative or ill-dignified, it's going to come up that this is speaking to this card too. It's speaking of a lack of balance, a lack of grounding, and swings, mood swings. So I think his mood swings, this isn't good, the steroids, unfortunately, that they've given him. I think that there's going to be it's definitely affecting a man his age with his health issues, whatever it is that they've given him or are giving him, I don't think are helpful. And I do think that she will end up having the 45th Amendment go through. I think it could very well go through. I'm a bit surprised, I gotta tell you. And yeah, because nothing has stuck. So I'm cynical until I see it, even though I'm reading this. I'm gonna want to have at least 2 more readings, in all honesty, that repeat the same pattern. But this is pretty strong. And so I think at this time that it's quite possible this 45th Amendment was what is key, at least, in his downfall. And that I believe she is prepared to go through with it. She's not calling and doing this and then not going to do it. It's just like we had to have the formal process of impeachment, even though he wasn't taken away. We have to do it because though they don't play by the rules, we do. And we have to uphold the rules and at the same time take them down. So I tend to think that's the way it's going to go. So we'll just have to wait and see. At this time, I'm seeing that 45th Amendment, she's serious about it. I don't see her going back on it. And I see her possibly, in the near future, getting support, enough support to get it to go through. Let me just do one more quick pull of the cards on that. Let me try it with the my favorite little Enchanted Woods Deluxe Petite Lenormand. Okay. Does the 45th Amendment go through successfully? Does the 45th Amendment go through successfully against Trump? Does the 45th Amendment succeed in going through? Nancy Pelosi and the 45th Amendment, does that succeed? Will that have to be utilized? So I'm going to say that the reading I just did showed me a strong likelihood. We're shown the snake, we're shown deceit, and we're shown trickery. And this is Trump continuing his bullshit. This is key. I think actually it's saying the 45th Amendment, again, I get a repetition of it being key against this criminal, this person of deceit. Yes. Someone close does something here. Their actions, they make a choice. I'm getting that thing again about, here's the offer. Save your face, you're sick, admit that and step away, or we'll go ahead with this because you're out of control. Honestly, that's the message right here. And I feel like, unfortunately, maybe the answer that's going to come back is go ahead. And so they go ahead with that. Once you've enacted something, there's no taking it back. And I think she's letting him know, hey, once I do this, I can't stop the process. So you decide now. There's a great deal of passion, or the public has a great deal of passion here. It shows with the garden and bloody thing. Did I put that? I don't know. I felt like I've been dead for a while and just woken back up. So, to be honest, but I feel like I can read just fine. I feel like I finally got some sleep, which is true. Okay, I keep looking for my little pointer stick and I set it down somewhere and now I can't. This is the story of my life today. Anyways, once I lose something, I found it. I kind of get a little nutty until I find it. So there we go. Speaking of nuts, back to the 45th Amendment here. So we see a great deal of passion that and heartfelt feeling that the public is like had enough with the trickster, again, the deceiver, the con man, and with the fox here. And this comes very quickly. I think if he tries to defy this, we're going to see people out in the streets, and you'll probably see people out in the streets anyway. And maybe these are his supporters also. Expect it. Stability with the anchor and the fish to do with well-being. The gentleman, the tower. Well, that's usually an institution, a hospital. It can be a federal penitentiary. It is a highly protected establishment. I think he'll get well, maybe regain some more stability, but I think they will have to enact this 45th Amendment. I feel like this is Trump going to a hospital to get well, to stabilize from these medications and illness. Especially these less tested medications that he's on. But I think this is also a move to try to stabilize our economy and our nation's well-being. Definitely. He's like in shreds. I see him hospitalized. There's the burden card, the one that one of the viewers liked. It is a card of heavy burden, bearing your cross, so to speak, literally. a cross to bear, and elderly, because he's older. So it's saying that, his age in this is going to make his recovery more burdensome. And I think take longer than he thinks. Well, I keep getting that. I think he'll have to be hospitalized. And there's some mental activity also. This could be like the dementia, the going out of control here. This is also illnesses associated with older people, like dementia. That's a possibility. So I'm just saying, look for that topic to be brought up. Yes, I do think it will go through. I feel like this could be Obama speaking out. This is a man of a darker complexion, usually dark hair or darker skin. A message. I feel like it's a comment to society during this time. That's possible. That certainly would happen. And to offer hope. And especially for those who are more vulnerable, our children and our elderly. With the stars. And it's also, I think, to ensure and assure people and children and the world that it's going to be okay. I do. I feel like there's a comment that might come from Obama. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's somebody else. But I feel like this feels like that kind of a thing. But I do think he will get put to the 45th and sent to a hospital for a while. For a good while. For some kind of... till he can stabilize enough to make fucking sense. Excuse my language. The clover and the bear. Yeah, we start to do better. We start to gain strength. And it's an end of this punishment, of this trauma of the last 4 years. There's the coffin. I don't think necessarily that he'll die, but I think our punishment under his rule ends. There's a woman... I think like this is Ivanka, and there's some something that isn't clear about her. She stays by his side, loyal, but there's an obstacle for her in this. An obstacle to loyalty? Not quite sure I follow. And wanting for her own benefit to move on. So I think there could be, wait a minute, could be an offer from a secret source to leave or flee. Okay, yeah. I think Ivanka's going to find herself between literally a rock, a mountain, and a hard place as she stands by her dad. She may, from overseas, who knows, maybe it's MBS, maybe it's Putin, maybe it's both, receive foreign offer of, on the down low, for some kind of assistance or to leave, quite possibly. You know, we always see them wanting to flee. I just don't think that they get to. Not sure about that. It's not good for them no matter what they choose. That's what I see. This is their home, their family. So I think they're going to choose to stay in their own country. And the sun reveals a change. There is a change. A significant change. And I believe that we come to a crossroads where for the betterment of our country, we make a very important decision. It's historical. There's also that we learn more about what's happening, I believe, with the president's health. Definitely. there will be discussion, I believe, of his symptoms, and so that the American people won't just think that this is something that they want the American people to know this, they take it doing this very seriously, and it has very serious ramifications, etc. Yeah, I see him continuing to fight, but it shows that he's stolen. He's stolen. He's been a thief. So I do think, again, just for the record, that I think that it's good likelihood that the 45th will go through, will end up going through. She's with the message of the universe that she's not and didn't bring this up if she wasn't prepared to go through with it. And I see it will go through. Of course, there will be some fight, but I see him ending up in a hospital somehow, some way. And maybe just in the midst of them trying to get him hospitalized, he ramps up and has to be hospitalized. That's all I can tell you. But he's going down, all right? So calm down, take a breath, get a beverage of your choice, and start to relax. That doesn't mean let down your guard, but it means don't be in a panic. And don't let people come in and panic that it's not going to work. That's some troll crap. All right? And I'll see you in the next video. I'm losing my voice.